Let's go ahead and get started here today. This is a day like any other day, coming to you live from the center of the earth. No, not exactly the center of the earth, but maybe the center of the galaxy or the universe, depending on your point of view. We're dealing with the big issues here. We've got the big issues. We're not playing around here. When we say we're taking on the big issues, we mean it. We're taking it on. We're taking it all on. And this includes the, as we will call it, the current political and social climate, even though I don't think that's correctly to be labeled as such. For instance, for one thing, here's where we're at today. Look, and you think what you want. Everyone, not only, in my opinion, should be entitled to their own opinion, because everyone has one. An opinion occurs automatically. It's an involuntary occurrence in your mind that happens upon encountering anything. You're going to have a preference for that thing or not. You're going to have an opinion about something or not, or about a set of things or not, or different an opinion, I should say. You will have an opinion. You may not feel strongly enough to express an opinion, and you may not have ever thought about having an opinion, but it's there. And if you think about it and articulate it, you'll find it's there. Sometimes it doesn't come out exactly the way you're thinking it or feeling it, but if someone says, hey, what do you think about this? And you, shall I use the term, I will use the term blurt out, well, this is what I think of that. Well, then sometimes that's going to turn out good, and sometimes that's going to turn out bad. Sometimes you want to hear, and your group wants to hear, and now here I'm speaking to the political group, the political climate. And sometimes the political climate has to do with getting a coalition together, a group of people together that will support you, that will help you get done what you want to accomplish. And other times that has to do with talking to yourself and affirming in yourself those things that you wish to accomplish. But if you are to examine yourself first and learn what it is that you think and what you feel about something, then you're aware that that's what you think and that's what you feel about something, about anything that you're encountering or with which you're presented in our society, our modern day world. That is a world of politics as well as passion, love, personality, and culture. And these all change and grow, fluctuate with the time, seasons, the decade, sometimes the zip code, sometimes with how much money a person makes, what side of the globe they're on, from the time they're born and to the time they die, which religion they were first encountering when they were younger, and how they were taught through that religion. Because just because somebody was taught to be a voter or towards this political party, or an adherent of this political party or this religious sect or denomination, that doesn't mean that that person's always going to stay that way or feel that way. And sometimes it means they're going to be even a lot different, in some ways more or less extreme than others that were taught the same thing from the same premise or starting point. We're looking at how we can talk to each other in this current time, in our current climate, the temperature being what it is in the melting pot, if I may use that metaphor and analogous ways to say, think of it as a melting pot, as we often speak of America as the melting pot. But it's not really a melting pot as it is just a place where everybody gets together in one location and lives under a certain set of rules called the U.S. Constitution. And then there are people that participate in this. Some are good, some are bad, according to my point of view and according to yours, because we have opinions. And as well we should, because this is the way the good Lord made us, if you believe the stories, and if you want to use that language, which I do and which I shall. And now, if you ask anyone, most people, the average person, I'm speaking only about myself now. I'm only talking about myself. When I say when you ask most people or most people you meet, I mean most of the people I meet and when I meet most people. On the internet, if they are Christians, and this will then have to do with the Christian internet, or the Christians internet, or the Christian internet, with a capital S, because there's lots of us, or with a capital SS, because there's lots of us. Right, we're all over the world wide web, and Christian internet, the Christians internet. And if you meet these people on the internet, often not so much in real life, but more and more it's turning into that in real life, where these people seem to be obsessed with following a certain political candidate and telling everyone that disagrees with them, or rather asking others what their opinion is of this, and then when those people present a differing opinion, then they proceed to say, well, the opinion you have is different than mine, and because it's different than mine, it is of the devil, you are of the devil, and therefore you are my political, personal, and sociological, and cultural, and life style, as well as lifelong enemy for life. Unless you come on over to my side, think like me, act like me, and behave exactly as I wish to see you performing and behaving in front of me at all times. Or otherwise, you can go to hell. And then they always add this, ha ha, or ha ha. So, I'm not here to tell anybody how to vote or how they should vote. If you want my opinion, I might tell you what I think about someone or what I think about anyone. A political candidate, a political system, a Supreme Court decision. I can say a lot about a lot of stuff that I think, but the question is now about timing and who really wants to hear it, why present your opinion. Look, man, everybody's got an opinion. We all know it. You know it and I know it. And fine, I'll be happy to show my opinion, share it, express it. You wanna smell it? Yeah, but look, man, just because I have an opinion doesn't mean I need to go around telling it to everybody and telling everybody that they need to have my opinion or else. And that's what these Christians have turned into. And I do not say the entire body of Christ, but I do say that's what these Christians have turned into, and that is they've literally turned into Christian jokes. And they're going about lifting up the name and the seed and the rules of the earthly rulers of this globe, of this present evil zip code, when meanwhile their job is to lift up Jesus Christ and to magnify his name and to present for all to see Jesus Christ. So that's all I'm saying on that. If you want to go down another road, if you want to label everyone that has a disagreement with you or a different opinion as a child of Satan, as your lifelong enemy, whatever. That's not my style. That doesn't motivate me at all. If you want to talk that way, go ahead. Just leave me out of it, please. And if you want to invite me into that conversation, I'm more than happy to listen to what you have to say, and then I'll be happy to take my turn at the table, so to speak. But if we're just going to sit there and call each other names, blame a lot of other presidents that came before and a lot of other kings that will follow, kings or queens, Congress members, whatever, dog catchers. Look, we're not here to start arguments. And when I say we're, I mean I'm not here to start any arguments or finish any. I'm here to reach my hand out toward anybody that's out there that's listening that wants to be a part of this conversation where we can move the ball forward, and the ball being us, our needs, our ultimate wishes and desires. And we may not agree on every single play that every president, prime minister, or king might come to decide and choose to follow. And I totally wish for this to take place and the arguments to happen in the town hall meetings and across the tables of America, kitchen tables. and maybe in the grocery stores when asked and when appropriate. But to go on and on and on, telling people that there's something wrong with them, they're either, and I quote here, a this tard or a that tard because they disagree, or they seek to see their enemies triggered, or they wish to see their political opponents jailed or possibly beheaded. Look, man, I don't know, figuratively or whatever, literally, whatever. We've seen it all. The comedians holding up severed heads of presidents, right? We've seen it. And we've heard other people say other things about the things that they say. And all I'm here to say is this. I'm seeking a conversation with anybody that's willing to talk and seeking to perform something that anybody wishes to perform along with me, and that is this. Democracy in good faith with one another. We can see each other as allies, and we can see each other as friends and neighbors, even when we don't get along, and even when we disagree, and even when we flat out don't want to see each other or hear from each other because we're so angry that we didn't get our way. And I understand that. I have lived it, and I do live it. But I also live this, that we're all in this together. And I am sending this message now to all Americans, and to all men and women and men of every race, color, creed, political party, religious background, as well as possibly no faith and no political affiliation. Never have voted in your life and never wish to vote. Turn out on election day. In some way, make your voice known. Of course, people are cynical. Of course, a lot of people most likely do not believe elections are fair and are openly doubtful of the motivations of intentions of our rulers. And I am as well. And I doubt the ability of many of our rulers, some in particular, one in particular, of having the ability to carry on as he has continued to over the years. Might need to seek some really solid mental health treatment at this point. I see the wheels falling off. And then another of the candidates seems to be as a deer in the headlights, so to speak. I wish the best for both of these men, regardless of their political ambitions, personal motivations. Personally, I want them to be happy personally, and I wish for them the best for their families. I'm speaking now of two people in particular that I'm thinking of, two rulers in our society. And you can draw your own conclusion as to what your opinion is about any of these two rulers or any people that you may vote upon as to be a king, a president, a king, or a queen. You decide. But I invite you, I urge you, now is the time for all good women and all good men to let their voice be known. In one way or another, let us stand up now and show the world what America's all about. It's all about Americans standing with and helping Americans, even when we disagree, and especially when we disagree at the ballot box. Let's do our duty. Let's stand together, and if you don't vote, let your voice be known. I am here and proclaiming loudly that I am not voting. And you don't have to give a reason to anybody, but let your voice be known. This is not the time for Americans to sit at home and look at their TV screens. This is the time for all Americans to get out, do their duty, let their voice be known. Even if their voice to be known is, I'm not voting for anybody. This is now the time. I'm an American, and I'm inviting you. President Biden, if you see this message, if you hear this message, I'll be out on election day. And I know what my duty is. Americans, will you join me in doing your duty? Standing for our democracy, standing with each other, trusting in the good faith and having hope in our fellow Americans. And friends, I'll leave it at that. I wish you all the best. Friends, may God bless the United States of America, and may the good Lord watch over our troops. And may we walk in the right as the good Lord sees fit to provide us with the wisdom to see that right. Thank you, and good night.